is Shalva, Israel's leading association for people with disabilities. Its national center in Jerusalem is the world's largest and proves itself an international model for disability care and treatment.
Shalva was founded due to our personal experience where my son Yossi was injured by a faulty vaccine at the age of 11 months and became blind, deaf, and hyperactive. And when he had his breakthrough to communication at the age of 8, my dear wife Malki said, it's payback time, and we started Shalva.
Shalva assists and provides a safe haven every day for around 1,000 children and adults with disabilities. But when the coronavirus shook the world in early 2020, that all changed. And for the first time in its 31-year history, Shalva was forced to close its doors.
It was just a very big void. There was definitely something missing. It wasn't the Shalva that everybody knows. Like, you know, you come in, this place is beautiful. And like all that energy wasn't here.
For the beneficiaries, the suspension of Shalva's programs took a heavy toll.
I have a 10-year-old son. His name is Daniel, and he has Down syndrome, and he comes to Shalva every day for the after-school program. To take a child who thrives on routine and thrives on the therapies that he's getting and his friendships, his relationships, and his settings, to take that from him was just devastating.
After the first nationwide lockdown in Israel, exceptions were made for those with disabilities and special needs, clearing the way for Shalva to continue its essential programs.
The day I saw youngsters coming back after those 6 weeks, the kids were crying, the staff and volunteers going to meet them at their minibuses were crying, and I began to cry standing at the entrance to this building and seeing just how much this means to so many.
The nonprofit's continuation wasn't without its challenges. Many of its programs had to adjust based on current limitations and capabilities.
Shalva did an amazing thing where they actually sent the volunteers to us, like to different people's houses. So just to have that, like, you know, once a week, and that was a great relief for him.
The volunteers and staff members did their best to acclimatize, as did the recipients.
Anyway, they have a very big difficulty with change, and I think they did a pretty good job. They helped each other. It was kind of a special time. I mean, under the circumstances, it was pretty special.
Throughout the pandemic's learning process, it became imperative for those with disabilities to return to some sense of normal routine. Israeli health officials felt the same way, and when the vaccination drive first kicked off, Shalva rolled up its sleeves.
We had the privilege of facilitating the vaccination for corona for well over 1,000 adults with disabilities here at Shalva, because Yossi's vaccine was something that hit us personally, has nothing to do with moving forward and doing what has to be done medically to protect our community.
Roughly 60% of Israel has been vaccinated, and Shalva did its part in getting the nation to its current inoculation status. But for many at Shalva, this was simply just part of the organization's essence.
I never heard of anybody with a disability that came to Shalva and met a closed door. I mean, they help anybody, it doesn't matter who they are or where they're from. If they need help and they have a disability of any kind, so Shalva helps out.